Hi there, Wycliffe Barrett, Explained Dedicated. Today we're going to have a look at building an approach in the Boeing 737 FMC. Now, these can look really confusing pieces of equipment, and they can be, but if you take things slowly and also do a little bit of reading, you can master the FMC in a Boeing aircraft really easily. And it doesn't matter what type you have. But before we get to going, please give me a like, a comment, share and subscribe. Right, it doesn't matter whether you're using Web FMC on a tablet like this. I've got a Samsung tablet and I use Web FMC, or whether you've got hardware, and I've got the physical hardware here, from WinWing FMC, or whether you're using the FMC in the simulator. They all work in the same way. And I'm going to show you how to build an approach now in the FMC. I'm going to be using the physical FMC, but you'll see it come up on the simulator. So the reason why you might build an approach is that the approach that you have in your ARACs might not resemble anything like the chart, and I found this to be the case when flying into Hamburg recently. So you can see here I've got the chart up, and this is a lot different from what my ARAC provided me with previously. So I think I need to build this. So we've got the chart. I can see what's going on here, and I know exactly where I'm going to be going. It's an RNAV approach, and here we have the approach onto runway 15 at Hamburg. So we need to join the two up in the FMC, and there it goes off to Hamburg when you do the missed approach. So let's go back to the standard terminal arrival chart, and we'll start plugging that in. So first of all, we need to start plugging in each thing. So DH, starting off with DH, was it 434? DH434. So we put that in the scratch pad and then put it into the available space. Then DH, it was 435, and move that up to the top. And then DH 455, move that up to the top there. And DH, what's the next one? 456, move that above the discontinuity. And then we need, I think, if I recall, DEVOD. No, not DEVOD, sorry, DH 457. Okay, now this is the last fix in that approach, and now we need to find the waypoint, and I think it was not DEVOD, it's still DH458, and now we go to DEVOD. That's right, DEVOD in the scratch pad, and then move it up to the top. Now we've got a couple of route discontinuities here, so we need to clear those, which we have done, and we need a runway 15 in there, and then Hamburg after that, which is the missed approach fix. So there we have them all in now, and maybe we should have a look at this on the navigation display to make sure it matches up. Now it really is quite straightforward. As long as you've got the chart, you can read the chart and you can just put in what is required. You can see all those waypoints there, the DH waypoints that I've put in from, I believe it was from Revler that I started putting those in. We'll have a look now. I think it was Revler or it was Sibso, one of the two. We'll have a look. Here we go. So we'll step through this. There we go. It was Ribso. It was from Ribso we went from. There we go. Ribso, and then DH434 rather. Yeah. DH35, 495, 456, 457, 458, and then I think it was DEVOD, wasn't it? DEVOD to runway 15, and that is it. I mean, it's really that simple. It takes a bit of practice. Once you've got it, though, it's really straightforward, and you can't go wrong. once you understand the concept of just putting the fixes in, regardless of what fixes were there, and the reason why I did this when going into Hamburg was that what the flight plan gave me, and I put in the FMC, looked nothing like the chart. So what I had to do was rewrite what was on the chart into the FMC, and that is how you build an approach. Now this works with any kind of approach. This is an RNAV approach, but if you've got an approach where you've got waypoints, and the waypoints on the chart are different from what the ARAC has provided, maybe you're using an old ARAC, then all you have to do is type in the waypoints. Now here I'm just tidying up and putting in the RIBSO flight level and speed, and then from there down to, I think it was 4,000 feet for capture, I can't quite remember, but so all the way around the approach, I think it was flight level 110, and then I put in the final approach fix, which was 220 knots at 4,000 feet. Yep, so 220 at 4,000 feet, and that would put me on the approach chart, which we all know how to fly in a standard approach. Once you get down to 4,000 feet, you could even take it visually, especially if it's an RNAV approach, as this one was. Although I must admit the weather was a bit spicy going into Hamburg. There was a bit of a crosswind, but the aircraft handled it well, and we touched down perfectly fine within the touchdown zone and rolled out to a good landing. But that's not the point of this tutorial. The point of this tutorial is showing you how to build an approach, and then go into plan mode on your EFIS, and then stepping through the plan so you can see it on your navigation display, and hopefully it matches the chart that you've taken it from, and there you have it. Really quite straightforward, really simple. And as I say, it doesn't matter what kind of FMC you're using, whether it's web FMC on a tablet or your iPad, or whether it's a physical FMC as I've got on the desk here, the WinWing, or whether it's the FMC in the aircraft, in the simulator. They all work in the same way. This is a Boeing FMC. It's almost the same in an Airbus FMC MCDU, and we might have a look at that at some time in the future. Hope you found the video useful. We'll see you all soon. You take care now. Cheerio.